search through the loamy earth for me, climb through the briar and bramble. I'll be your treasure.
Well, as you can see, I'm packing a fair few things into the car, but for your first adventure, you're really only going to need 3 of them. Firstly, you're going to need a gold pan, and you can get one of them down at BCF or Anaconda. Secondly is a shovel, and hopefully one with a pointy end. And finally, you're going to need a bucket, or maybe 2. I love getting out of the city and into the bush. You may have to drive an hour or 2 to get to your destination, but it's a perfect opportunity to unwind. You can forget about work and all the other stresses in life and think about all the gold you're going to find. This really is a real life treasure hunt.
I felt the touch of the kings and the breath of the wind. I knew the call of all the songbirds. They sang all the wrong words. I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you.
So how blessed are we to live in Australia with all of our wide open expanses and unique wildlife. The creeks are often on public land, which means they're able to be prospected, and then you've got gold all across the country from north to south, east and especially far out west. In these areas history abounds because it's often where the first Australians set up camp. We truly are the lucky country.
Will you swim through the briny sea for me? Roll along the ocean's floor. I'll be your treasure.
Okay guys, this is where our pan comes into action. We haven't overly filled it today because we're just doing some test panning in a new area, but it's a pretty simple process that is difficult to get wrong. And that is because the gold is so heavy, it's always going to fall to the bottom of the pan. But we're using the larger Mine Lab pan today, and you just give it a bit of a move around so that the gold can start falling down. But our primary motion is going to be left to right. Just let some of the bigger stuff wash away, and as we're doing this, the gold's always trying to get down into the corner of the pan, which is down in here. As I got rid of a little bit, I tend to go with one hand. You can still use 2. Just doing this, and every now and then, side to side, and you're just letting the material fall away. It's only going to take the lighter stuff because the gold's going to be in this pocket down there. Again, side to side, and we reduce it, and we go a bit slower as we get down to the bottom. That way you can see if any gold's going to escape, and you take it down until there's quite a small amount, just basically the ridges are filled only. And then what we're going to do the reveal, so I'll come over and do that. Alrighty, I'm going to try and do this around the camera, and again we're just going to go side to side and try and take the material to a point where the gold just drops into that corner. What we're going to do is just wash it back slowly back and forward, and the lighter material is going to drop down to the bottom. I don't see any gold yet, if there's any gold there, but you tend to see that right at the end. Just slowly go through this process. Oh, I can see a couple of lead shots there, which is always a good sign. That tells you that you're in the heavy area of the creek. See the balls up here? Get rid of that rock. And looking at it, there's looks like there's 3 pieces there, the little chunky one and a couple of others. So we do know there's some gold in this place, so we'll probably see if there's any more.
I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you.
Okay, so it's time to talk about shovels, and you probably shouldn't get a shovel confused with a spade. A spade is not meant for lifting material out and putting it in things like a gold pan. So we need something with a bit of depth to it, and there's probably 2 options. Got this little one, it's a little Trojan shovel that I often use, probably more so than the bigger one. And then we've got the large shovel that you see a lot of people use, and you probably notice that they've got a bit of a point on them, the ones that are most commonly effective when you're undertaking prospecting. That's because the point can actually get its way in a little bit deeper, and gold often appears in the deeper locations. So you only need one usually. It's up to you, take your pick, the big one or the small one, but either should be just fine. So the last piece of equipment you'll absolutely need is a bucket, and of course you can get buckets anywhere, but these Bunnings ones are really good, and usually I carry 2, the big one and the small one, and I'll show you why in a sec. I generally use the bigger one carting material around from A to B, because quite often you're in dry locations like this and you have to walk some way to get to some water. The smaller one, well, that's used to put your gold and other little gemstones and goodies that you find and you take them home. And when you do get one of these smaller Bunnings buckets, make sure you get the lid, because the last thing you want to happen is for your gold to go arse over tit in your car, and you've got the vacuum out trying to find every little scrap piece of gold. So don't forget the lid on your bucket. So one of the little tips and tricks I can show when it comes to the bucket, you would think that you wouldn't really need an instructional video on how to use a bucket, but in this particular case, just something a little bit handy. When you've panned your material down and you've got it to a point where you probably shouldn't be trying to separate gold from other material out in the creek bed or wherever you may be, you've got to put it into your bucket, and sometimes that can be a little bit harder than you would first think, because you don't want to lose anything. So what you have to do is tip the material in like that, and then you just get some water and splash it up onto the pan, and every single thing that you've found out in the wilderness will end up down the bottom of that bucket. You're going to separate it when you get home, because you'll find you'll lose more than you keep if you try and separate it out here.
I'm with the ghosts of the men who can never sing again. There's a place, follow me, where a love lost at sea is waiting for you.
So I promise you, when you come home, you're going to feel mentally refreshed, probably a little bit sore physically, but in a good way. And if you can fill this little bottle full of gold, you're going to have 2,500 Australian dollars worth of treasure. You really are going to be richer for the prospecting experience.
is waiting for you.